Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games, and welcome to Shop Spotlight. So today I'm going to talk to you about Blood Bowl, and Blood Bowl is a fantastic game made by Games Workshop, which is why I'm stood here in this area of the store. Blood Bowl is a game of fantasy football played between humans, orcs, elves, goblins, and all manner of other races, playing an American football style game of football. That's what it's all about. So you can play Blood Bowl in a couple of different ways. You can play regular 11s, which is played on a large pitch like this. This is the new Chaos Dwarf pitch, but it's a very big area. Or you can play 7s, which is what we play most of here in the shop at Mighty Lancer Games. Just playing on a much smaller pitch. So 11s, you have 11 figures on the field. 7s, you have 7 figures aside on the field. The pitch is smaller in 7s. You play 2 less turns per half. The game is 2 halves. So you play 4 less turns overall. You've got less models on the pitch, and the pitch itself is smaller. So games can normally be played in about 45 minutes to an hour, where a full-scale game of Blood Bowl can take an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on how fast you resolve your turns. So let me talk a little bit more about Blood Bowl 7s. All of the team rules that you need are contained within various publications that Games Workshop produce. So one, the official rules. Now this is the main Blood Bowl rule book, and this book contains the rules for most of the teams that are available, with the exception of Amazons, Vampires, and Chaos Dwarves, if memory serves correctly. Now their rules are contained within this style of product, the Spike magazine. So every time a new team has come out, they've produced one of these magazines, and that will have the rules for that new team with some special abilities and some new characters and what have you. And then the other thing that you would need to play 7s is a copy of the Death Zone supplement. This has various rules, including the specific rules for 7s and some different stadiums and other bits that you need to add into the game. So let's talk about the teams. What's great about 7s is that you only need to buy one box of the team of your preference, because you're limited to how many players you can put on the field. So each team box that's available contains 12 players, or slightly more in the case of goblins, but you generally get 4 of your main positionals and a couple of each of the others, along with some linemen. Now in 7s you need a lot less figures than in a full-scale game, so one box will give you all the figures that you need, whereas for a full-scale 11s game you generally need 2 boxes worth of figures to be able to field a full roster. So this is the Lizardman team. This is little Miss's favourite. She's got some of those work in progress. This is the brand new Chaos Dwarf Blood Bowl team. Who doesn't love big hats and big beards? Well, some people don't, but I think they look particularly cool. That comes with hobgoblins and big beardy dwarves breathing fire and what have you. Haven't had a chance to play with or against these guys yet, because they've literally only just come out, but they look pretty cool. So that is theirs. My personal favourite are goblins. Now the goblin box is quite basic, because a lot of the goblin minis that you need to buy are resin special minis that have secret weapons, chainsaws, ball and chains, etc. Now you can convert those up from other minis in the range, but they are pretty cool. So inside the goblin box you just get a whole load of linemen to start with, and then you can maybe add a couple of trolls in. Goblins, pretty funky. And what has been my tournament team of late, the Black Orcs. Now Black Orcs combine goblins and big bruisery Black Orcs to beat up your foe and pass the ball off to the goblin so the goblin can score, is essentially how they work. Black Orcs are particularly cool, and the models are really, really nice. I think they look pretty cool. But there are all sorts of teams available. You can play as elves, you can play as different types of undead. So there's shambling undead, necromantic undead. Shambling undead have ghouls and wights and mummies. and necromantic undead have like Frankenstein's monster type things, and a ghost that looks like a washing line. Let's find one of those. I just want to show you the cool ghost washing line, Frankenstein's monster thing, werewolf. Like, they're really funky. They're pretty cool. And there's a variety of products that will come out when any new team is launched that will help you play the game, like these cards that have just been released for the Chaos Dwarf. So they generally release a set of dice for each team. They sell out really, really quickly. You can never get enough of those. And these cards, now the cards have all of the key information for your team, like the stats for the players and any special rules that are relevant and what have you. And they're a great aid for if you're new to the game. The only problem with these, like the dice, is that they're made in short supply, so they're quite hard to get hold of months after release. But Blood Bowl is an absolutely fantastic game. Sevens is easily the best way, in my opinion, of playing Blood Bowl, and is very beginner friendly. So if you fancy getting involved and you're local to our store here, head on in and we can advise you on how to get started. We're currently playing through a league of Blood Bowl 7s, and that will culminate sometime around the new year, and then we'll be starting off season 5 into the new year, ready for a great jumping on point for new players. So check it out, I guess, is the answer there. Now, because you don't need a lot of models, the games are fairly short. You can generally get a couple of games in over the space of a couple of hours. It's loads of fun. You get some really cinematic plays, and I think it's a game that everyone should be playing. So check it out. We've got everything available over on our website at mightylancergames.co.uk or here in stock in the store in Bridlington. Come down and check it out.